Hello, guys. Um, I'm going to talk about, of course, the April 2025 visa bulletin that was released today by USCIS. And what an exciting news for most of the categories here. Almost all of the categories have been seen forward movements, which is definitely a great news. And some of the areas have a huge jump as a forward movement, which is definitely a good news looking at it. So, and I'm going to compare that with the prediction that I had, and I'm really happy that most of my predictions have been matched with the April 2025 visa bulletin, except a couple of items where I predicted a negative movement. But it is all based on the data availability at that point of time of analysis. And as I said, I always say, because of several factors and several unknowns, it's hard to predict precisely what could happen, right? Every day is different when we talk about data. So that's what it is. But it is still a close match in those couple of areas. So let's walk through this real quick and see what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to give you some reasoning about it, okay? Very quick. So let's start with the rest of the world, right? EB1 rest of the world, I predicted as same as the March 2025 visa bulletin. So in this case, you can see right side is March 2025 final action day chart, and the left side is April 2025 final action day chart, which was released today. So you can see same as table 1, it's current. March 2025 was current as well. EB2 rest of the world, I predicted as 1 month movement. And you can precisely see close to 1 month, 1 week movement, like plus. So definitely it's a good match there. EB3 skilled, I predicted as 1 month movement as well, precisely 1 month movement. Yeah, so I feel really good about it. EB3 other workers, you can see I predicted as 1 month, but the good news is it moved close to 3 months and 3 weeks, close to 4 months. That is a very good news for EB3 other workers category. I was anticipating this kind of a jump maybe at the end of Q3 of fiscal year 2025, which is I was expecting this kind of a move could be by end of June, but it is already happening. So which is definitely a good news. I will need to look at the data behind it, which will be released in the next month, which will help me to predict the future months, of course. But definitely a good news for EB3 other workers. And moving on, EB1 China, I predicted as couple of weeks movement. There was definitely no movement compared to March and April, but maybe because they are seeing enough applications so far, or maybe they're waiting for the applications to come in to predict maybe in the next month. We'll see. For EB2, China, I predicted 1 month forward movement, and it has jumped almost 4 months, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So May, June, July, August, September, October. So almost 4 months, 3 weeks, which is definitely a great forward movement for EB2 China. I will need to look at like what changed, any new spillovers applied there or something like that, because that's a huge jump. But definitely a good news for EB2 China. EB3 China, same way, 3 months. So August, September, October. So 3 months forward movement for EB3 China, which is again a huge jump. A very good news there. And EB3 other workers, China, it moved from 1st Jan 2017 to 1st April. So it's January, February, March. So 3 months again. So solid average 3 months forward movement for EB2, EB3 skilled and EB3 other workers China. So that's a great forward movement. I need to look at the future report to baseline this and understand how it will look like for the future visa bulletin. I'll keep you guys posted. On this, good news for sure for China. EB1 India. So in my prediction, I said that it could retrogress a little bit, or it could stay the same as before. But there was a 2 weeks forward movement. So the reason I predicted that was there was um, data that was published by USCIS that they have accommodated 3,003 visas for this fiscal year, and they had enough number to in the backlog report when I analyzed at that point to cover, and that is maybe the reason I predicted as it might stay the same or retrogress a little bit, because they had so many pending I-485 applications, at least beyond the 3,000 number that they had allocated for this fiscal year. So that led me to predict to retrogress or same, but seems like 2 weeks forward movement, which is kind of maybe because again it comes back to, did they add any new spillovers to it in the current quarter or a fiscal year of this time? Okay, definitely it's surprising to me in terms of that movement, because I saw in the backlog there was a huge backlog count, which they projected to cover already. But anyway, we will keep an eye on it and how this is going to move forward for EB1 India. And sorry to disappoint the EB1 India through my prediction, but it's a good news that it has 2 weeks forward movement. EB2 India, I predicted as no movement, but there was 1 month of a movement, because USCIS have predicted by end of September 2025, they said that they will be able to move only up to 1st of Jan 2013. And they had so many numbers already to cover for the given 3003 allocated visa numbers. And somehow seems like they have more spillovers that they are finding out recently. Maybe they figured out that some of the areas in Mexico, as I mentioned in my previous prediction video, that Mexico and EB1, Mexico EB2, and same for Philippines EB1, EB2. There are a lot of visa numbers available on those two areas because there was not a lot of demand, and maybe because of that, some of the extra spillovers are spared across any areas where the demands are high. So maybe they are finding out when they recalculate or revisit those numbers quarterly, because as you know, there is a quarterly process of visa assignments. Like 27% of the visa assignments happen every quarter, start of every quarter. So that's why maybe you see some changes there. So I will need to keep an eye on the future backlog reports to see how much of a number got increased in the coverage for this fiscal year. So I will need to analyze that in the coming report, which USCIS might release shortly. So that is going to be the source of truth for me, why these dates have been moved in the middle of this. They've also moved the data filing chart for the EB2 India and EB1 India. So I'll come to that shortly. EB3 India, you can see it moved from 1st of February 2013 to 1st of April 2013. Which I predicted as 2 weeks movement for EB3 skilled and EB3 other workers. It moved a month, so which is again a good news, and it's going to move up to June for sure for this year. We will see how that movement goes. So EB1 Mexico and Philippines, not a major change we are going to see, because it is having a lot of visa numbers available and less demand there. EB2 same, Mexico and Philippines. It's going to move along with the rest of the world dates because there are not a lot of numbers to use. So it has not a lot of demand there. So it's going to be open to use for other categories. EB3 skilled, it is moved 1 month. So as you can see, for Mexico and Philippines, EB1, EB2, I predicted the same. Because I predicted it's going to move 1 month, and it did move 1 month. For EB2 Mexico and EB2 Philippines, the same thing. You can see EB3 skilled, I predicted as basically as a 1 month movement. So same thing happened here, 1st December 2022 to 1st January 2023. And similarly for EB3 other workers, it moved from for Mexico specifically, it moved from 1st of February 2021 to 22nd May 2021. So it's like February, March, April, and May. So it's a 3.5 months of movement for Mexico other workers, which is great news. Similarly, for EB3 other workers Philippines, it moved from 15th January 2021 to 22nd May 2021. It's again half of January, February, March, April, May. So it's almost 4 months a week, something like that. That's again a great forward movement for Philippines as well. So I predicted a month, but there seems like there has been less demand and in the new data, and there's been a lot of movement there. So which is definitely a good news, and you are going to continue to see these forward movements in these areas across the board. Except couple of areas where you will see the dates will move slower, but it will definitely start moving forward, as it was stagnant in the beginning of Q1 fiscal year 2025 and Q2 fiscal year 2025. It was little slow, but then these second quarters, third quarter and fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025, we will see fast forward movement there to reach the target. Okay. This is about final action date chart, which is the chart we wanted to move. And I just quickly wanted to compare the data filing chart to give you that the forward movements differences here. So you saw that specifically for EB2 India, they moved from 1st December 2012 to 1st January 2012. But when I look at the data filing chart, they moved 1 month forward, because previously the data filing chart was kept as 1st Jan 2013 to reach, but then they moved to the data filing chart to 1st February 2013. So that means the projection is like there is a chance that EB2 India could move up to February 1st by the end of September 2025, as of now, as of this April bulletin, right? And we need to closely watch, like if they keep moving this data filing chart, that whenever they move the data filing chart, that means that they have more visas available or extra spillovers applied to it. That's the reason why they might move it. Otherwise, they won't move those dates. But the EB3 India stays the same, right? That means they have the enough visas up to that date to use for this fiscal year. So those are the indications, particularly. And you can see also EB3 other workers, it moved from, in the data filing chart, it moved from 22nd May 2021 to 1 month forward, which is 22nd June 2021. Okay, but if you look at EB3 skill than EB2, it did not move in the data filing chart. So they are going to stay the same, because they are projecting that they can only move up to that date as of now. But the future data, like maybe the next month data, will tell us whether these dates will move as well or not. Okay, so that's what it is overall. There may be new data that is going to show us that there will be a forward movement in the data filing chart as well. That will be even a good news, but April 2025 visa bulletin final action date chart did not disappoint us, many of us, which is definitely a great news for all of us. So I'm happy for you guys, and definitely I wanted to say this. So I have been receiving a lot of comments and feedbacks on my predictions, and also on my work related to analysis. So thanks a lot for all the feedback. Those are the feedbacks that will definitely motivate me to work more on this topic and give you the best I can. So definitely appreciate your time watching the videos and providing your comments in the comment section. So as I always request, please forward and share my videos to your friends network, and kindly subscribe as well. That way it will get the visibility on my work, and it will help me to do more. That's all I have for this video. Definitely good news from the April 2025 visa bulletin. I'm really happy for all of you guys. Okay, thank you for your time.